good morning. How are we all doing on this fine Sunday afternoon? We've got lots of football today, starting off with 2 Premier League games and then a La Liga game tonight. We're live all day from now till about 10 o'clock. So hopefully you'll stick with us. Hopefully you'll join us for a little bit, whatever works for you. Maybe you'll be live with us all day. Maybe you'll dip in and out as the day goes on, as the games are flowing. Whatever works for you. Really appreciate all the people who join the live and all the love yous all show. It's really, really appreciated. But looking forward to this first game. Brighton against Crystal Palace at the Amex. 2 sides. I mean, listen, it's a derby, this one. It's a derby. These two absolutely hate each other. Brighton have got 1 win in 11. Crystal Palace, 0 wins in 9. 6 defeats, 3 draws for Crystal Palace. For Brighton, Fabian Hürzeler's side have gone from being maybe a side that were looking to chase. I mean, they were 5 points off the Champions League last year, Brighton. And you know, they're still not a million miles away from it, but 5 points off the Champions League last year. Where do they sit now in the table? You can actually see the table just over here on the right-hand side if you're watching us on the place that starts with a Y. But we'll go through the lineups because the lineups are pretty interesting today. For Brighton, it's Verbruggen in goal, Kadioglu, Dunk, Boscagli and De Kuiper at the back. Boscagli, I think, is a fantastic player who's not played all that much for Brighton this season. Just 5 appearances after being one of the best centre-backs in the Eredivisie. He was absolutely fantastic. They brought him in on a free. Can play centre-back, can play left. 28 years of age, in his absolute prime. Won the Eredivisie with PSV. I think he would have been a great signing for Brighton, and he's only made 5 appearances for him, sadly, this year. But Kadioglu, Dunk, Boscagli and De Kuiper at the back. Then it's Howell. Harry Howell, 17-year-old Harry Howell making his debut for Brighton in midfield alongside Carlos Baleba and Gross. And then it's a front 3, a very attacking front 3 of Mitoma, Kostulas and Rutter. So Brighton really going for it, but Harry Howell in midfield, what a big day that is for Harry Howell. For Crystal Palace, no surprise for them, I guess, that Jørgen Strand Larsen starts and makes his debut up front. So the big record signing, certainly the big signing of the January transfer window anyway, is starting today. Henderson in goal, Wharton, Lacroix and Richards at the back. I don't think it will be Wharton, actually. It says it's got Wharton at the back here, but I don't think it will be. It might say Wharton on the lineups here. I don't think it is. I think it's going to be Jefferson Lerma dropping into that back 3. And they'll keep Wharton alongside Hughes in midfield. The good news for Palace is that Munoz is back in. So Munoz is on the right-hand side. Mitchell on the left as normal. Richards, Lacroix and Lerma, I think, will be in that back 3. Then it's Wharton and Hughes. And then ahead of them, Pino, Sarr, Larson. Very, very tidy front 3, that for Palace. Very much looking forward to that one. So yeah, we'll see how Palace respond today with a newly sort of reinvigorated front 3. Palace are only 6 points off the relegation places as it stands. If they keep Oliver Glasner to the end of the season, I think they might get even a little bit closer to those bottom 3. But they need to get a point at least today. I feel like a defeat today really does. No win in 10 and 7 defeats in 10 would be very difficult to stomach, wouldn't it, for Palace and for, you know, Steve Parish and those Palace board members. I'm sure they'd be looking at it and thinking, I don't know if we can keep this guy in charge for too much longer. But listen, I want to listen to your predictions. I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? Are we a bit better? No, the mic's all over the place, isn't it? I don't like that. Let me see if I can move it away a bit more. That's maybe a little bit better. We'll keep it there like that for now. The mic placement seems to make a big, big difference about just how good the sound is, so I don't know what's going on. Right, hang on. Sorry. Right. Gary, who's your team, pal? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. Forzing, our players, staff and trainers need to give their heads a wobble. Our performances are appalling. Peter McAllister says, Brighton is in East Sussex and Crystal Palace is in South London, not a derby. Well, tell that to their fans, mate. They would absolutely consider it a derby. They would absolutely consider it a derby. What we saying? Sorry, Magna says, Liverpool shitty later today. Well, listen, I'm sure we're going to be talking a bit about Liverpool and City later on, but for now I want to be focusing on Brighton and Crystal Palace. This is a good one to watch, so we'll see. Forzing, did you see Eddie Howe's comments after the game? I haven't, mate. No, I haven't. I haven't seen the comments he made after the game. I know he was quite despondent at full time, though. Right, sorry, YouTube. I apologise. Let me catch up. So, Ryan, good to see you. Real life, how's it going? Julius Hotspur, you think it's going to be Brighton 4, Palace 3? High scoring one, says Julius. Shell, good to see you, Shell. Welshwing says, hey, Key, how are you? Want a quiz before the game starts? Well, I don't know if you already started it, but I would say let's not do the quiz before the game starts. Let's do it at half-time if you're still around for the half-time one. Just because we've only got 6 minutes. Joe, well, if that's the end for Eddie, well done, journals and so-called fans. You got what you wanted. Nah, you can't be letting him win, mate. You've got to stay. You've got to keep fighting the good fight for Eddie Howe. If you believe he's the right person, then go for it. Nixie says Howell starting over Minter is wild for me. I don't get it. Nah, do you know what? I don't know. I mean, we don't know how good Howell is, but I guess Minter, it may be a fitness issue. It may be that he's said something to the manager. We don't know what's gone on there. Twisted Fate says, must win for you today, Key. Are you getting nervous yet? Nah, not at all. Not at all. Why would we get nervous? Nah, don't get nervous. Not nervous about it at all. Wanderer says, do you think 50 million was the right price tag? For Strand Larsen. He's a competent Premier League striker, and Palace need a competent Premier League striker, so I don't know what's the going rate for a competent Premier League striker. There's not many of them about. So yeah, probably is the right sort of fee. Welshwing, how's it going? What we saying? Sorry. Shell, Eugene plays. Lovely to see you, mate. Teaching Tony, Premier League dad, draw Brighton or Palace. What's the lean for the Liverpool match today? Well, I think Liverpool to win under 2.5. I think it's going to be cagey, that one. Brighton Palace today, I think is going to be a Brighton win. I can't see Palace turning it round, but then again, looking at the Brighton lineup, they've started the young 17-year-old lad in midfield. They've got the full front three there, Sarr, Pino, Strand Larsen, maybe, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting watch, this one, I don't know. Welshwing says Eddie Howe has been awful this season. Has he, though? Has he? Is Newcastle's predicament the responsibility of, well, it's the responsibility of Eddie Howe, but is it the fault of Eddie Howe? I'm not sure it is. It's difficult to say that. Good lad, Tony. Yeah, let's see how we go with that one. Swansea 4-0. What, against Sheffield Wednesday? Oh, God. Sarah, lovely to see you. Twisted Fate says, I will say, any fan that wants to lose just to see a manager sacked isn't a real fan. It's always club over players, manager, no matter your feelings. Absolutely agree with that. Right. What are we saying on TikTok, sorry? Let me catch up with the old TikTok crowd. Apologies. Jørgen starting on top for Palace. Harlow Hill, what do you think of Sheffield United? Well, we're live for Sheffield United against Borough on Monday Night Football. That's what we're doing on the channel. We do, as you know, a watch-along every single day on this channel. At least one. Today we're doing 3. Today we've got Brighton Palace, then Liverpool Man City, and then Real Madrid away at Valencia tonight at the Mestalla. Carlos Corberan's Valencia against Alvaro Arbeloa's Real Madrid tonight. So if you love football watch-alongs, if you like watching any football, this is the channel for you. Even during the international breaks, even Christmas Day, we watched a live football match. So if that's your thing, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. If it's not and you're just here to troll, that's absolutely fine too. Breeze on by, love it. Zach, you ever been to a game? I have, mate. I've been all over the world watching Liverpool. Been very lucky. Very lucky. Joe says, Welshwing, Pally's working with what he's got. Hardly any depth. No backing in January. Riddled with injuries and heavy fixture schedule. What we saying? Sorry. Joe, see you're not hiding. No, Joe doesn't hide. He'll always come back in, even when Newcastle lose. He's a good Geordie. Good lad. Forsing said, he said, I need to think long and hard about me, and I'm obviously not doing my job well enough. Ooh, difficult. I wonder what. Well, I don't know if that's going to be a problem, for Newcastle as the season goes on. Is he going to resign early? I don't know. Listen, he'd have options, wouldn't he, Eddie Howe, if he left? Certainly have options. United fan, what time is it on at? The Real Madrid game kicks off at 8 o'clock tonight. Football Boy says 2-1 to Brighton. Astroxy says scary hours for Liverpool if they don't get 3 points today. Why? There's 30% of the season left to go. If you've got a third of the season left, no worries yet. No worries at all. Listen, again, it'd be very clickbaity to say the season rides on this game. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Liverpool still have to play Chelsea. We still have to go to Old Trafford. There's still a lot of stuff that can happen. There's a long, long time left in the season. So anyone telling you that the season hinges on this weekend is nonsense. Ryan says, I think Eddie Howe will be given time to turn it around. I would hope so. Bleach Demon says 1-2 Palace. You thinking Palace to win today? Kostula starting up front for Brighton as well. Intrigued, rather, I was going for there. Intrigued to see how he does. Fascinating player. CMCCA Sandils. Where do you think Everton are coming this season? I think Everton probably 10th or 11th maybe. Fantastic away from home, dreadful at home, isn't it? That's kind of the issue with Everton at the minute. Not doing very well at the Hill Dicko. Not doing great at Hill Dickinson, but yeah, they're incredible away from home at the minute. Must be said. Conceded less than every team bar Arsenal away from home. Everton, they're flying on the road. They just can't do very well when it gets to Bramley Moor. Dan, not going to the game again, lad. I refuse to go to games anymore, mate. Not been to a Liverpool game, or any game, really. When was the last game I actually went to? I think I went to Altrincham. I went to a non-league game at Moss Lane about 18 months ago. But other than that, I don't go to football matches anymore. Flat out refuse. Been all over the world watching Liverpool, but will not be going anymore. That's my last football game. Been very lucky to watch a lot of great games in person, but yeah. From the Stadio Olimpico to the Roman Sanchez Pizjuan in Seville. Been all over the place, but won't be doing anymore. That's me done. Right. So, we're off and underway here at the Amex. Right, there you go. Clock's underway. We're all started. That's the David Dickinson Stadium. Joel says, I'm going for a Brighton win. Dan, so can't moan any team then? Can't moan any team then? What do you mean can't moan any team then? That's not very good England, that, mate. That's not very good England, that, Dan. How much do you charge United rent for living in your head, mate? Again, I can only assume these people haven't watched football till this season. I'll just give you an introduction to football. Generally speaking, Liverpool fans don't want United to do well. Generally speaking, United fans don't want Liverpool to do well. This isn't new. This isn't very new. So if it is, then there may be a little news flash for you. If that's how football works. Michael says, I understand that Palace haven't won a match since early December. That's really poor form, but I don't think they'll be relegated. It will be Wolves, Burnley and Leeds, in my opinion. Leeds, I still think, could get dragged into it. Absolutely agree. What we saying, Pup? Last game I went to was Rangers B versus Wrexham at Ibrox. Ooh, nice. What we saying, sorry? Spurs are well and truly dragged into a relegation battle. Brighton head it away. Palace knock it back in, and Brighton now on the counter with Karioglu. Malcolm, have you been to Goodison Park, lad? I have been to Goodison Park, yeah. I've been to Goodison Park. I've not been to the Hill Dickinson as yet. But again, I honestly, I won't. I know that's one stadium I won't set foot in. And it's nothing to do with Everton. I won't set foot in it. I won't be going to football games anymore. That's me done, so... Well, Twinks, I thought you were harsh on Roofs yesterday after watching Match of the Day. I thought Zubi's goal was incredible. Not many keepers saving that. But hey, to each their own, mate. That's, yeah, you're absolutely entitled to your opinion on it. One day or less, what's your prediction, Key? For this one, I think Brighton 2-1. We've got a corner here for Brighton. I think Brighton pinch this one. But I'm really intrigued to see how Palace's attack works now. They've got Strand Larsen up there. They've got Sarr. They've got Pino either side of him. It's a very dynamic-looking attack. Like I said, Brighton have brought the young lad in, the young 17-year-old into midfield. What does that do to their sort of structure, their system? Brighton head it back across goal. Bit scrappy in the area. Cleared away by Palace again. It's going to be another corner. Lacroix just getting it anywhere, to be honest. Absolutely anywhere. Callum says, all right, Key, I think you can't call this one. Maybe form-wise you can, but because it's a rivalry, anything can happen, and Palace needs a win. So I'll go 2-3 to Palace. Twisted Fate says, the two biggest clubs in England don't want each other to do well, Key. I'm shocked. I know. It's astonishing. This is news to some people, apparently. It's news that a Liverpool fan might not want United to win. Crazy, eh? Absolutely crazy. Michael, I would happily talk to you about them, mate, but I can't because I'm on a platform that doesn't allow me to use the B word. So I won't be using the B word, but I wish you all the best for yours, mate. Eugene says, Key, what's your favourite Premier League stadium? Well, Anfield. After Anfield, probably Old Trafford because we've won there quite a bit. No, do you know what? I think I'm trying to think of places I've been that I really enjoyed, and not just because of the fixture, obviously. Do you know what? I actually quite liked. Quite like the vitality. Maybe it's the smaller stadiums. I generally have. I think it's quite nice, and they have a really good atmosphere at the Vitality for a stadium that's like 15,000 people, whatever it is. It's like less than 20,000 seater in a Premier League, and you don't expect it for a team that's relatively well established in the Prem now. Rye Wiggy, it's mutual, pal. And that's exactly how it should be, Rye, isn't it? Exactly how it should be. Normal Guy, yo, how's it going? Lots of love to Normal Guy across the pond. Ryan says Marinakis is fond of Sean Dyche. I read an article of Sean Dyche. If Sean Dyche doesn't get convincing results, he could be getting sacked by Marinakis. Could be looking for his fourth manager this season. I think that's not on Sean Dyche, though, is it? Let's be honest. If you're a football club owner and you're looking for your fourth manager by the time sort of February's looking... If you're looking for your fourth manager by Valentine's Day, then, you know, maybe you're kissing too many frogs to find your prince. Maybe it's that. Timbo says, hola, Key, if you lot beat City today, us, you and United are closing in on City. We're not. We're not closing in on City. That's the narrative. Listen, I understand when you win a game of football, you're more likely to look up than you do sort of look around. But I think across the season, I just don't see City falling below second. They're too good a side. They'll sort it out at some point. And to be honest, they've had runs where they've been really good and then runs where they've been a bit flat and a bit rubbish. And kind of they're in one of them at the minute where they're just not getting wins over the line. 1 win in 6 for City. And it's a little bit similar with Liverpool, but I don't think anyone would argue that Liverpool and City are currently playing out the skin. Sorry, Liverpool and City are playing well below our standards, but we're still where we are. Whereas I think United, and to a degree, Chelsea are playing out their absolute skin and getting results that aren't necessarily warranted in a lot of cases. Like the Fulham game, obviously, United get the sending off in the Spurs game yesterday, which changes everything. Doesn't mean they didn't deserve to win, by the way. They still deserve to win that game. But they didn't deserve to win against Fulham. Oh, I tell you what, unlucky there. Mitoma, very, very lucky. Very lucky there, Palace. Mitoma was on top of that. Samalam, good lord, mate. You chat about United 24/7. You a secret United fan. You want to have an argument with these Arsenal fans? Because apparently I talk about them 24/7. I can't talk about Arsenal and United 24/7. Have a word. You guys, I'll let you guys duke that one out. You can have a chat about it. Great ball over the top, Brighton. Oh, unlucky. He beat the offside trap there, Mitoma, I think. Lino didn't put his flag up anyway, but it just ran through to the keeper. Unlucky. Real Life says a bit random and not that they're in the Prem anymore, but the Coventry Stadium is great. I went to watch England women there, and it was great. Oh, nice. I've not been to Coventry's new stadium. I did drive past Highfield Road back in the day, a long, long time ago, but I've never actually been to the new Coventry Stadium. Eugene says, Key, do you think Hugo Ekitike is going to score again today against City? Well, he's got every chance. I guess if we score a goal, then there's a chance it's going to be Hugo. There's every chance. He is the cover. He is the thumbnail star today for today's game. I've gone with Ekitike and Foden. Timbo says City's defence is rubbish. Not sure that improves until their injured defenders are back. I know, I agree. And that's the other bit of luck, I guess, that you need across a season is, you don't get massive injuries. And City have had some massive injuries at the back. Vardy, broken leg. Diaz, Stones, big injuries, I don't necessarily think that where City are and how far they have been behind Arsenal is reflective of where they are as a team. It's just, unfortunately, the nature of the beast, isn't it? They're playing young lads at centre-half. Michael says Sheffield Wednesday could be the first team to be relegated, either at home to Millwall, depending on other results on the 14th of Feb. Will you be covering that match, Key? The Steel City Derby, possibly, yeah, possibly. I don't know if we've got that on the schedule, but possibly doing the Sheffield. We did the Sheffield United Sheffield Wednesday Derby at Hillsborough earlier this season, but I don't know if we're going to do the return fixture. Guess we'll have to see. Mr. Tupac Shakur, professional scaffolder supporter here. Thanks for the hate this year. Thanks for the watch-alongs. Keep it up, bro. Cheers, mate. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. You're one of many Arsenal fans we've got in the chat. It's lots of positivity. Appreciate it. Joe says, Key, you're famous on TikTok now. Who was it? Was it Cecil? Cecil said I'm famous on Reddit yesterday as well. I've not looked for myself on Reddit, but apparently I'm famous on Reddit as well. I don't know what's going on. Welsh Ring says, do you think if Arteta doesn't win the title, Andrews gets manager of the season? I mean, Andrews might get manager of the season even if Arteta does win the title. Slot won manager of the year last year because he won the title in his very first year. What would be so impressive about Arteta winning it? Unless we agree right now that whoever wins the title every year should get manager of the year. I don't think that's the case. I think it's about resources versus expectation and whatever. I think Arsenal have had the best resources in the league to play with, and therefore it's maybe not that impressive. It's impressive. It's not impressive, but it isn't like manager of the year impressive. So would Arteta be nominated? Of course he would be nominated if they won the league, when they win the league. But he won't be getting manager. He's not going to get manager of the year. Not over, Regis Labris has done phenomenal. Obviously, Keith Andrews with what he's done. Even if he just gets Brentford top half, everyone at the start of the season was telling me they were going down. Everybody, he's done unbelievably well. Absolutely fantastic. Red Rebellion, are the Liverpool fans in here ready for the City game? I'm going for the win. I'm rooting for it, mate. I'm looking forward to the game. Enjoying a little bit of Brighton and Palace first. Kane, always rated Strand Larsen. Yeah, he's not had a great start to his season at Wolves, but he was fantastic last year, wasn't he? Kane says manager of the year for me would be Regis Labris. He'd be up there, wouldn't he? Right, what are we saying on TikTok, sorry. George says the Sunderland manager needs more credit. He does, yeah, he does. Joel says, you know what, mate, I'm just going for a draw. Do neither of them. James Bradley, I can't believe how well Brentford have done with the players they lost and Frank going. Yeah, Frank going, Wisser, obviously Mbermo, Norgard, the captain, huge losses. These are all really important things that people are maybe not discussing enough about Brentford. So it's a massive, massive thing that I think they're in that little pocket just below the European places. I don't think they get Europe, but I mean, imagine if they do. If they do, he's a shoo-in for Manager of the Year. Absolute shoo-in for it. Even if they just get, like I said, if they just get near it. Reese Footy Feed says, where's Wharton today, Key? He wasn't displayed as injured on flash scores. He's playing. Yeah, he's playing. He's in the middle of the park, mate. I was going to say, it should be coming up here on the right-hand side if you're watching on the purple thing starting with T, or the red thing with the play button in the middle starting with Y. If you're watching on there, you'll see the lineups and the stats and everything over here. But yeah, he's starting today. Wharton's playing. Mr. C, the Craven Cottage curse continues. Did incredible Everton yesterday. To win at Fulham is unbelievable. Did very, very well. Steve, fans that worry about what other teams do that don't affect their league standings should grow up. Why? Can't you not? I mean, listen, I do this for a living, so I love watching football. That's why I love it. So, I guess, I don't know. If people like watching football, I don't think there's any issues with commenting on what other teams are doing. Oh, Sarr very nearly getting through. It's still a little bit cagey, this opening 15 minutes. Still feels like we're still obviously waiting for the first real chance in the game, the first real shot on target. But Palace, Wharton just picked the ball up there, did very well. I think Sarr might have just been offside. He was skirting the lines of being offside. But, a bit of a cleaner pass from, would it have been Will Hughes? Who was it who actually passed that through then? It might have been Pino, actually. Madhouse says Carrick should be Manager of the Year. Yeah, no. Definitely not. Swifty, I stayed drinking round the ground yesterday instead of going in, and we are second. Good lad, well done. Reese, would you recommend saving a bit of money if I quit my job to watch football for a living, Key? Yeah, if you can. yeah, absolutely. Timbo says, I always thought Brentford would be fine because they're a well-run club. People went off in the summer, but I didn't think they'd do this well. Keith Andrews has done a ridiculous job. Yeah, I agree. Keith Andrews, for me, absolute shoo-in. Shell says, made up with the win for Everton yesterday. Bet you was. Aid says, but I suffered yet another defeat at home. Yeah, Newcastle. Listen, we're talking about Brentford doing unbelievably well. Newcastle. Below the Mackhams. Below the Mackhams. I bet a lot of Newcastle fans were saying, in fact, quite a lot of Newcastle fans were saying this in the chat yesterday, that, it's our big opportunity, this. Arsenal beat Sunderland. We're going to go back above them. We're going to win. We're going to go back above them. That's a big thing for Newcastle. That's a big thing up north, in the northeast. If you can't, if Newcastle don't win the FA Cup maybe, and they don't go far in the Champions League, maybe they don't finish in the top 6 and qualify for Europe, the very, very least they expect of Eddie Howe is you finish above Sunderland. You've got to finish above the Mackhams. Wise Guy says, Roofs has been a great new signing for him. I think they might lose him for a large amount in the summer. Yellow card for Will Hughes there. You think Roofs should go in the summer? Why? Where do you think he's going? I don't think anyone would take Robin Roofs from Sunderland. I think that's kind of about his level. Oh, yeah, that was a little bit clumsy, that from Will Hughes. Rutter gets the ball first, little Cruyff turn, and Will Hughes just diving in, not a very elegant tackle, that from Will Hughes, and now the Palace midfielder is on a yellow card for the next 70-odd minutes. Eugene says, Palace from invincible Champions League contenders to being in the same position as United last season. Just shows you how quick it can change, doesn't it, Eugene? And Michael says, Key, every time I look at your subscriber count, it seems to be moving up. Fast nearing 14k. I think you only started this time last year. If so, that's some going, lad. Nearly 14. Nearly 14k. With a bit of luck, we'll break 14k today. But hey, listen, it's easy enough me showing up. You guys keep turning up in the chat and having the conversations that we have. This is a community-driven channel. I appreciate the praise. It's very nice. I really do appreciate it. But the The community makes the channel at the end of the day. You guys are the people who ask the questions, and I just read them out. But it's all good fun. I appreciate it. We have a good natter. We watch lots of good football every single day. If you like that sort of thing, hit like, hit subscribe. If you don't, then that's all good too. Brighton, nearly 1-0 Brighton. Lewis Dunk, the skipper. Should he have done better here? No, actually, that was a tough chance. I thought it was maybe more of a free header than it actually looked, but he ghosted in there. He gets a little bit on it. Cleaner strike, and that one straight in the bottom corner. Sorry, I'm missing comments. I apologise. Kane, I'm so happy you kept going after New Year, after you getting the rewards for your persistence and hard work. Oh, thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, mate. Twisted Fate says, last time we won 4 in a row was under Erik ten Hag 2 years ago. You're not going to get 5, though. He's going to keep his earn. He's going to have that luscious mop. He's going to have his luscious mop for a little while longer. Joe says, well, if that's the only thing the Mackems can celebrate this season, so be it. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying that surely that is the expectation, isn't it, Joe? I mean, you can speak more intelligently about that than I can. You're a Newcastle fan. I would imagine that Newcastle would demand finishing above Sunderland as like a bare minimum this season. Like, if we're not gonna win the FA Cup, we're not gonna win the Champions League. If all that happens, we don't finish in the top 6. Worst case scenario, the very least, we've got to finish above the Mackems. We can't be finishing below them. Callum says Roofs to replace Pickford at Everton, maybe. Maybe. I mean, yeah. Where would Pickford go though? I don't think Pickford's leaving Everton anytime soon. Wise Maguire says, talk of Chelsea, City and Liverpool all interested in Roofs. No, Liverpool wouldn't be signing Roofs. We've already got our goalkeeper, Mamadashvili. Chelsea, City have already got 2, haven't they, to be fair, in Trafford and Donnarumma. Chelsea, I think they'd expect better. They've got Robert Sanchez. And he's done all right this season, actually, miraculously. Quite a lot of Chelsea fans seem quite happy with Robert Sanchez at the minute. Nuka says, how would you prefer the lineup for Liverpool v City? We don't know yet. I guess we'll have to wait and see. The lineup should be out in about maybe 40 minutes or so. Kane, if Man City don't win today, is the title gone? Nah, 9 points. 9 points or 8 points, whatever it ends up being. That's not insurmountable at all. Not at all. Obviously, Arsenal still have to go to the Etihad, of course, and we've seen Arsenal drop points in maybe games that we wouldn't have expected them to, away at Forest. You know, these are games where Arsenal are capable of... If Arsenal win every game between now and the end of the season, then it's no problem, is it? They can afford to lose at the Etihad, but it's not going to happen. They're going to drop points along the way. The problem is we don't expect City to be... Don't get it twisted. What I'm saying is, can City catch them? Yes. Will City catch them? No. Arsenal will win the league. I don't believe it, that they have got any chance of throwing it away, but they certainly can do. They certainly can do it, because we know that Arsenal have got a history of bottling it. We know that City have got a history of putting a successive amount of consecutive wins together. If City get a run of 6-7 wins on the trot, which, let's be honest, wouldn't be out of the question, City put a run of wins together and Arsenal don't get a couple of points here and there, then all of a sudden it looks a bit different, doesn't it? Joe says, did you see if James Milner comes on, he goes level with Barry for games played in the Prem? I did, Joe. Yes, I did. I did see that. And I also saw that if Barry, even if Milner comes on, that Gareth Barry's played like 4 seasons worth more of minutes than him, hasn't he? Which is astonishing, really, given that James Milner's like basically 40. So, yeah, I mean, listen, both unbelievable accomplishments. Thank you very much for the super chat as well. Joe Talks Footy there. Go and give him a follow if you haven't already. Top fella, really appreciate it. What are we saying? Nostalgia Bunker. We're going to make it a long, long summer for smelly Arsenal haters. Blue Moon Rising and we will win the cup final. I think we will. Okay, there you go. City fans are confident. City fans are certainly confident, aren't they? Wise Guy Maguire says top half of the league all season, undefeated at home. Sunderland have got a lot to be proud of. The gap's making the Mags dizzy. Listen, yeah, Sunderland, I think whatever happens from this point onwards, even if Sunderland were to have something of a collapse, and I'm not saying that would happen, but if it did, still, you would still say that it's been a great season for Sunderland, hasn't it? Reggie, good to see you. How's it going, lad? Lovely to see you, mate. Julia says, did you see Jeremy Jacquet injured? Yes. I mean, that's Liverpool's luck all season, that. We just paid 60 million quid for the young lad, and he, does his shoulder. He's out for a couple of months for Rennes. So, I guess it's better that he's out for a couple of months for Rennes than it would have been than if we'd have actually signed him and he'd have done that in training. That would have broken hearts immediately. But that's been Liverpool's luck all season. We pay massive money for maybe one of the best strikers in Europe, and he breaks his leg and he's out all season. We buy one of the best young centre-halves in Europe in Leone, breaks his leg, he did his ACL, didn't he? Did his ACL on his debut, out for the season. These are the things that Liverpool's luck it's just not been a great season for Liverpool in that sense. Twilight Trail says, come over from TT. Bet you can't guess who I am. I can't guess who it is, mate. Tell me. Twitch says it's a shame Cameron Archer ain't in the Brentford squad. Underrated striker. What's your opinion? Cameron Archer in the Brentford squad. Wasn't Cameron Archer? As in, we talking about the same Cameron Archer here? I mean, from the Brentford squad yesterday. Are we talking about that one? Because Cameron Archer, the last time I heard, he was bouncing between Villa and Sheffield United, wasn't he? Not Sheffield United, Southampton. Same kit. Is there a different Cameron Archer that's maybe in the Brentford Academy that I'm not aware of? If so, I have no idea. What are we saying? Sorry, Michael says, Liverpool surprised me with the Jan signing because I've never heard of him before, and a lot of money for someone so young. Is he a long-term replacement for Virgil? Well, he and Leone are probably the two long-term replacements for Virgil, I guess. Swifty says shoulder isn't an ACL or an Achilles. It's not the worst one to do. No, that's true, Swifty. It isn't. But it's still something that I guess we would rather him be playing football for Rennes than to be sat on the sidelines with his shoulder strapped up. Reggie, how is Strand Larsen playing? Strand Larsen has been pretty... I don't know how many touches he's had. Let's have a look. He's been pretty quiet. Every ball that's gone over the top for Palace, I mean, this here is another one again. Every ball that's gone through or over the back line for Palace has been Ismail Assar. But they've got a free kick here. Boscagli has just given a free kick away. And it's an opportunity for Palace to put the ball into the box. This is where Strand Larsen probably will figure. Let's have a look and see just how many touches Strand Larsen has had so far. I don't think he's had any. Biz, if only Isak had a history the scouting team could have checked on. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I think they did, to be fair, mate. I think the fact they paid 40... he played 40 plus games a year, every year, up until joining Liverpool was probably reassurance enough for Liverpool, I guess. And, he had no history of a broken leg. That's just something that happens, unfortunately. Welsh Wing, cheers for the super chat, mate. Love that. What's he said? One of my favourite comments on the Fan Reactions TV channel yesterday. Arteta presenting a whiteboard. Right then, lads. 3 open play goals. Surely Key's happy today. Key proceeds to moan about Sunderland errors. I wasn't having a pop at Arsenal. I was saying Sunderland's defence was all over the place. Reece says, shoulders are awkward. Once you do them, you're very susceptible to it repeatedly coming out of joint again. Well, thankfully, I mean, since Salah did his in the Champions League final, we've not had too many issues with his shoulder. Edward, how's it going? Lovely to see you, mate. Fraser says, why do you force your hate for Arsenal so much? I genuinely want to know. Why do you think I force hate? I don't force any hate for Arsenal. I don't hate them. I've been very clear on that. Shlelu, how's it going for Palace? 30 minutes in, neither side have really had a shot on target. I don't think, actually, I say really had a shot on target. I don't think there's been a shot on target. 0 shots on target for either side. There's only been 2 shots, full stop. And neither of them on target. 2 corners for Brighton, sorry. 2 corners for Brighton. 1 yellow card to Will Hughes. There's not really been an awful lot in the way of action in the opening half here. Opening half hour. Tobes, hi Key. My teacher supports Brighton. Just to take the mick. Come on, Palace. And Strand Larsen. 3-1 to Palace. And Real Life says, yeah, Odegaard, for example, has been out, I think, 3 times for his shoulder this season. I was going to say, he does keep coming back, doesn't he? Keeps on coming back. And, yeah, I've seen him go off a few times with his shoulder. Twisted Faces, to be fair, Key, props to you. I was expecting you to say Romero red wasn't a red, but then you saw the replay and said it was. Yeah, no, all I was aggy about when Romero got sent off was the fact that the referee had gone straight to it. It was an immediate red card. I was a bit like, this guy has been, before that moment, he'd give nothing to Spurs. United should have had at least 2 yellow cards. And honestly, I thought the Luke Shaw one was questionable. That was like an amber for me. Because the keeper's miles off his line. He's lining up a shot. It's not quite a last man tackle, but like, it's as good as. But either way, even if you're not saying that's a red, it's not a red card. But like, if the Spurs, he should have had a couple of yellow cards, United, and he was just giving nothing to United, to Spurs, and giving everything to United all game. And then I saw the replay back, and I was like, it is a red card. It's definitely a red card. It's a silly tackle. And even then, there's still quite a lot of people in the chat who were saying, I don't think that's a red. It's quite soft, but no, I do. I think that was a red. Rufio, why do you watch teams you hate? I'm a football fan, mate. Do you not watch teams you hate? Do you not watch them? I mean, hey, to each their own if you don't. I understand it. Brighton should be. Oh, great block on the line from Palace. Nearly 1-0. Yeah, do you not watch teams you hate? Do you not? Well, hey, that's to each their own, mate. That's good for you. Fair enough. If all you watch is your team and you're not interested in watching anyone else, then good for you. That's absolutely your right. See, I don't. I love watching football. And I'll watch United. I'll watch Everton. Even though I'm a big Liverpool fan, I'll watch Everton. And I'll be cheering along for whoever Everton are playing. And whoever United are playing, I'm cheering along for whoever United are playing. And that's how I've always watched footy. And I love it. It's great. And it's mad because I don't get anyone who pretends to be above those rivalries. We all love it. That's one of the reasons we all love football. Let's be honest, a lot of the people in the chat who are here to give me stick are here because they like the rivalry. There's a lot of United fans in the chat right now. And, fucking Liverpool fan giving us stick. Look at him. Here. United. Yeah, well, all right. Good. I would imagine you would because you've just had your first little win of the season or whatever. First little run. Standard. United fans will be very happy at the minute. Football's cyclical. It's all change. Joel says, the London club I don't like is Chelsea. I hate Chelsea. Evertonian big Liverpool fan sat in his box room watching the games. Well, it's not really a box room. But yeah, I am sat in a room. Well, I'm not sat. I'm standing in a room watching games. Yeah, this is what I do, mate. Cooper, I think if Liverpool win today, the title is as good as Arsenal's. As good as Arsenal's. Hey, there's a bit of arrogance, swagger. Madhouse says Romero should have got 6-month ban. Should have got a 6-month ban. He could have killed Casemiro. Al City, I never watch derbies because I hate United. Palace, edge of the box. Wharton, miles over the bar. Twisted Faces, I thought the red was harsh myself. And that's from a United fan. Until I saw the replay and saw his ankle physically bend. Yeah. Now, I was going to say, initial glance, I just thought it looked a bit tame. But no, it was a red. And also, have you noticed, funnily enough, whoever does the editing for the fan reaction channel, they clipped up that bit and said, oh yeah, it's never a red card, and then cut it and didn't get the next little 5 seconds where I said, oh yeah, it is definitely a red card actually. When I watched the replay back, they cut that bit out. Why? Because it gets them views, doesn't it? Gets them little views. Twilight says, you've definitely got Grealish pyjamas hung up, lad. Love a bit of Jack Grealish, yeah. Great. Reece says, if I always watch teams I like, that would mean 2 or 3 games a week. There's 7 days in a week. I need a football fix. Yeah, I was going to say, I love just watching footy. I mean, again, some people don't watch as much footy as we do on this channel, and that's fine. You can watch as much footy as you want. Wolfie, Arsenal fan here, hoping for a Liverpool win and a Palace win. Thanks for the content. No worries, Wolfie. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Joel, I want Aston Villa to win the Premier League. And Reece, Strand Larsen is a great signing for Palace. Well, time will tell. He's got to try and drag him away from the relegation places, hasn't he? Dr. Johnny, too many loose balls in the final third so far. Yeah, it feels like it has been a sort of second balls type of game, and who wants it more up to this point? And neither team's really, probably reflective of the fact, let's be dead honest, Brighton have 1 win in 11, Palace no wins in 9. It's 2 sides lacking a lot of confidence, isn't it? And this is usually what you see is maybe a bit of a low quality game. It's not necessarily for a lack of effort or a lack of trying or the manager's setting them up incorrectly. You know, there's enough attacking bodies in the final third. It's just a lot of over-hitting passes and under-hitting passes. And look at that. Look at that. That's poor. That's going to be a free kick. Yeah, every time. Look at that. Rutter gets into a position there where he can put a ball into the box. He knocks it past his man and it's too long. Gives away a free kick. There's been a lot of that. 3-star. Oh, sorry. Joe, how's it going, Joe? Cheers for the super chat, mate. Are you doing any halftime quizzes? Yes, we are doing a halftime quiz. We've got a couple of halftime quizzes, I think, if Welsh Wing's still in. Welsh Wing's got one. I've got one. We always do a halftime quiz every single day. So, yeah, of course, we'll have one. Life of Justin, I would never cheer for Liverpool, Reggie. I would just rather a draw today. That's cool, too. Real life key, do you like the fan reactions? Do they make you laugh? Well, yeah. I mean, I don't dislike them. I don't really watch them, if I'm dead honest. People tell me about them, and they sometimes pop up when I'm like scrolling through Instagram or TikTok or whatever. And the guy on I think it's on Instagram. The guy on Instagram has to ask for me to collaborate. So I just click accept every time. Just accept. Yeah, fine. If you want it, yeah, fine. There you go. Just have the clips. There you go. Whereas everywhere else, they just take the clips. I don't get asked about it. So I'm not that I'm bothered about that, by the way, but it just gets done. So, yeah. I mean, they're funny. Yeah, people like them. Comments seem to vary wildly. Claim for a penalty for Palace. No, it's away. It's a half a claim, really. Not many Palace players claiming there. Malcolm, I thought you were a prick before I started watching you, lad. Well, now you just think I'm a knob. Cheers, Malcolm. From an Everton fan, that means a lot, mate. I appreciate it. Daniel says, I think a draw really helps United too, so hopefully a draw today. And what's Sarah saying? Sorry, let me see where Sarah's comment is. Sarah, Twisted, it should have been a red. He broke Isaac's leg, even if Isaac scored or not. Yeah, that was a bad tackle, wasn't it? It was one of them scissor tackles. Madhouse, I got here because of your rants on the fan reactions channel, Key. You're a great lad. Hey, Madhouse, love that, mate. At least, hey, it's bringing a couple of really nice people who are sticking around. That's nice. Welsh Wings, there's a lot of fouls so far. I can see a bit of argy-bargy soon in this one. And Reggie says, oh, that probably makes sense. Where are we up to? Sorry, Daniel, think a draw today really helps United. Beep-a-deep-a-deep-a-doo. Where up to? 3-star, is that Wolfie from FFTV, Key? I don't think it is, no, it's just another guy called Wolfie. Beanie, are you confident today? I am, yeah, I am. I'm as confident as I have been against City, miraculously, given that, like, bizarrely, much better Liverpool teams have played much worse City teams. and I've not been as confident. Whereas today, I feel like we're both a little bit in the mud. But Liverpool's... I feel like we have turned a bit of a corner. The Karabakh game, the Newcastle game, even the performances before that, although the results weren't always fantastic, at Anfield, we're 8 unbeaten. And, I feel like we've been a little bit unlucky that some of those draws haven't been wins. Burnley was difficult. I thought Burnley were the better side. Obviously, Szoboszlai hits the penalty over the bar. And yeah, we were a little bit unlucky in some of the games. But hey, such is football. That happens. Oh, Palace nearly. Who was that? Strand Larsen nearly sticking it in on his debut. Do you think Spurs is going to be relegated? No, Spurs aren't relegated. Ben, hey Key, my mate rang me earlier and said, hey Ben, is that Key Thomas, the lad you know? He'd seen a vid on TikTok that someone has made. Oh, I know, yeah. Joe sent it to me before. There's an Arsenal fan on there who's literally, it's just a video of him crying in his Arsenal kit, and then he's just put a little caption that says, Key Thomas this morning. And it's doing all right, apparently. But that might have been the one he's seen. I don't know. Rangers have scored. Real Life says, do you reckon Liverpool will get Champions League? And if not, who will get the spot? I think we'll get Champions League footy, yeah. I think it's going to be... Pangon Palace over the right-hand side. Munoz with a chance. Good ball in. Good defending again. Lewis Dunk, important defending. Mr. Paddy, you sound exactly like that Simon Wilson bloke. Apparently, I look like him as well, according to a lot of these... a lot of people who come on. You look like him. You sound like him. Sometimes I look like Penguin from the Batman. Or Ruth Davidson, the Scottish MP. Or Gru from Despicable Me. Depends on what day it is, I guess. Ben says the one he's seen was of you celebrating when Fulham scored last minute last week, but then United scored again. Yeah. Penguin from the Batman is a shout. Scott Atkinson, least Mark Goldbridge is honest and neutral. Oh, Scott, you absolute loser. Scott, you don't know anything there, Chief. Even Mark Goldbridge admits he does it for clickbait and he knows he plays the game. That's his own take. He plays the game. Goldbridge is a massive whopper. Hey, look at Scott with a little fish. So hang on a minute. It's clickbait from you then, isn't it, Scott? Come on, lad. Come on. Super Bowl watch-along tonight, Key, the real football. Hey, whatever works for you, lad. I can't stand it. And to be honest, you know what, actually? I'll take that back. It's not that I can't stand the Super Bowl. I don't understand it. And it just, yeah. Don't get it. We'll never get it. I'll never try and watch it. But if people like what they like, that's all good. Different strokes for different folks, eh? It'd be boring if we were all the same. Aaron Morehouse, would you have him Burmo at United? He is at United. Yeah, he's at United. He signed for him this summer. Tall Paul, don't you support Liverpool with your Manc accent? My don't you support Liverpool with your Manc accent? Can anyone translate that for me? My don't you support Liverpool? I do support Liverpool with your Manc accent. I haven't got a Manc accent. I'm nowhere near Manchester. You need to calibrate your accent detector because it's miles off if you think it's Manchester. I won't like walk it. Real Life says American football makes no sense, but it's easy to grasp onto. And Sad Sack says one disgusting game of football. This is horrible. American sports are shit. There you go. Again, you like what you like. Why do you support with a Manchester accent? I think that was what he was going for. I think anyway. Let's have a look. Did he say it back? Bald Viking. No, he's from Widnes. Another dump. I'm not from Widnes. Hey, and again, why are you being so aggy towards Widnes? Widnes is all right. Widnes is okay. Hey, there's good parts and bad parts everywhere, isn't there? Some people have to live in Runcorn. Ryan says, do you think Michael Carrick will be given the job full-time at United? Yeah, he has to. He has to. Welshwing says, NFL... Sorry, just winding you up, I don't watch NFL either. I don't watch any American sports. Basketball, like ice hockey. I've been and seen ice hockey. When I went to New York, we went and watched the New York Rangers against the Toronto Maple Leafs at Madison Square Garden. That was wicked. Yeah, so I've been and seen the NHL. That was quite fun. But I've never really been into NFL or NHL or basketball or any of that stuff. Not my thing. But again, to each their own. Whatever you like what you like. Alexander Maggot. Hello, please give a hi. Hi to you, Alexander Maggot. Ollie Morgan, why is every video you post watching Arsenal? I mean, I'm watching Brighton and Palace right this second, mate. So that, I mean, it's a very, very difficult fact to argue that when I'm literally watching another game. Why is every video you post? And I don't post them. I imagine you've seen clips. You've seen watch-along clips, haven't you? You've seen fan reaction clips. I don't post them. I have nothing to do with them. So yeah, I don't have anything to do with them. They just clip up maybe my Arsenal and whatever watch-alongs they do. To be fair, the Chelsea one did really well the other day. And the United one. I think we got nearly 500,000 views on the United one. Nothing to do with me, but someone else got those views. But yeah, United watch-alongs seem to do all right as well. I don't know. Generic Gooner. You claim to be a Liverpool fan. Are you hoping they win today or lose to help City? It's a tough one, that. It's a tough one. Real Life says ice hockey in the Winter Olympics is actually great. Luke says, are you from over the Mersey? I'm not from the Wirral or anywhere like that. No. I'm originally from St Helens. That's where I grew up anyway. So yeah, that's where the accent's from. It's kind of a mongrel accent, St Helens, isn't it? Really, there's a bit of Manc, there's a bit of Scouse, there's a bit of Wigan, it's a bit of Lancashire, Merseyside, Scouse, and Greater Manchester. It's a bit of a melting pot, I guess. Nearly 2 minutes of injury time here. Wool, absolutely, that's it. H-Dog, Wool and proud. St Helens, can't be anything other than where you're from, right? Foxy says, everyone make sure you tune in tomorrow. Key's doing the watch-along for Arsenal under-18s and then the under-21s after. Yeah. I'm like the opposite to Ty. Ty watches, the Arsenal women's under-12s or whatever. I'm sure he doesn't just watch them, but he watches everything. That was to illustrate the point that he watches everything Arsenal. Not having a dig at Ty. I like Ty a lot. But yeah. Luke Watts, I'm from Northamptonshire. Cobblers! Love it. Sarah says, Key, you paused for too long there. It just gets boring answering the same question over and over again though, Sarah, so I kind of like giving him a bit back. I kind of like giving him to get someone excited about. Because if they say, for the 40th time, somebody comes in and think they're being dead clever and dead original, they come in and go, hey, I've got a question for him, mate. I've got a question for him, and it's gonna get him. He's gonna go. Oh, he's gonna bite on this, right? Watch this. I'm gonna type it out. Because you say you're a Liverpool fan, right? But are you actually a Liverpool fan? Because do you want City to win today so Arsenal don't win the league? And they get all excited. So I just give him a bit of a Hey, listen, it brightens their day up, doesn't it? Ty is a real one. Love him, yeah. Joel says, Man City getting found cheating, probably to get kicked out into the Championship next season, man. Mr. Musa, drop your predictions to the Liverpool and City game. Predictions to the Liverpool City game. I think 1-0. Yeah. Ty only watches the under-12s, worrying. Welshwing, to all the new Arsenal fans coming in and winding up, you are all wrong. He doesn't want a City win. He wants a demolition and is hoping for a Haaland hat-trick. Luke says United closer to Rushden and Diamonds, but that doesn't exist anymore. James Edwards, what's your score prediction for later? I think 1-0 Liverpool. Yeah, I think it's going to be a cagey one. Hey, look at that. A young Steve Stidwell in the crowd for Palace. Twisted Fate, I find it funny how Arsenal fans think they're the most hated team in the league. They haven't got a clue how hated United are. We're even hated by League Two sides. Boston Guns, why do you hate Arsenal, Kate? Can we not make this an Arsenal stream, for God's sake? I don't hate Arsenal for the 949,000th time. I don't hate Arsenal. I've literally said repeatedly, you're the best team in the world. On every single stream I get asked, like, they're the best team in the world, they're going to win the league. Like, what more do you want? They're so insecure. Generic Gooner, how many of Arsenal goals did you want a VAR check on? That's about as original as you get. Keep up the good work, Generic Gooner. Lee Marshall, why do you want City to win the league over Arsenal? Because City play better football, in my opinion. There's no broader reason than that. That's it. City play better football. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree. Colin Farrell, you want City to win? Embarrassing. Yeah, no, I don't want City to win. Generic Gooner, you know what, Key? Respect if that's true. Respect if what's true. What are you going on about, lad? Right, it's half-time here. It's half-time, and it's Brighton 0, Palace 0. It's been a pretty dull and drab first half, I have to say. There's not been an awful lot going on. When needed, says United fans talking shit. Most don't know football before 1992. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Real Life says, bro, it isn't even an Arsenal stream. I know. I'm really trying not to read out the Arsenal comments. But again, if I don't read them out, then they'll go, he's purposely avoiding all the Arsenal ones because he's desperate to not... Again, if you've been even in one live of mine for longer than 2 minutes, you'll know I answer pretty much any question put to me that's forthright, that's good faith. I will answer anything. I'll have a conversation about any club, any team, no problem. Happy to talk football with anyone and anyone as long as you're nice. As long as you're a decent person. And even if you're not a decent person, I'll still have a chat of football with you. We don't ban people, we don't block people, we don't really do that on here. You can say whatever you want as long as you're not, being a tit. You're not doing the whole isms, phobia, racism and all that shite. Then yeah, as long as you're not being that much of a tit, you'll stick around. Gamer Guru says Key respects City for the times they put high tackles and get away with it. Malone says, will you wear an Arsenal shirt if we win the quad? No. I have got an Arsenal shirt though, believe it or not. I've got many shirts. It's not like I've just got an Arsenal shirt. As you can see behind me, I've got lots of shirts. But I've got an Arsenal shirt from the Arshavin one, the yellow away one with the blue arms when Arshavin scored 4 at Anfield that year. I had an Arsenal shirt. It's going back like 16 years now. 16, 17 years, I think. 5-0 Rangers at half-time. Welshwing, you've got a half-time quiz, haven't you? You've got a half-time quiz for us, did you say, Welshwing? I think he said he had. Nathan Hollis, do you reckon Everton can get in the Champions League? No. Everton won't get Europe this year, but admittedly they're doing very well away from home. Twisted Fate says, so Matt Busby, etc. doesn't exist. You know the thing we paid respects for yesterday? It's literally in our blood. United supporters all over the world know about Munich. Very true. Prince Rupert, you can hang the Arsenal shirt behind you if they win the league, Key. Well, apparently, I've people are holding me to account for. People are holding me to account for the if Liverpool finish outside the Champions League places, I'll shave my head and I'll look like Arne Slot. But that's gonna be someone told me that, people will be saying you look like, you're trying to copy Anfield agenda, which I think I'll have to rein that in, so I can't be doing that. That's one thing I'm going to have to backtrack on. Chuck says, how are you doing, Uncle Fester? How did you grow your hair back? Rogaine. Welshwing says, can you name the top 10 Brighton goal scorers in Prem history? Here we go. Quiz from Welshwing. Love that. Right, here we go. Top 10 goal scorers. Put your teeth back in, Key. Top 10 goal scorers in Brighton Premier League history. Right, one has to be Glenn Murray. Two, I'm not going to say numbers because I don't know, but I'll say Murray, I'll say Welbeck, I'll say... I'm struggling now after that. Mitoma. Maybe Mitoma. Welbeck's first. Okay, 41. Glenn Murray. Oh, is Davey back in? Is Davey back in? Where's Davey? Davey, fingers crossed I'm home tomorrow. Yes, good lad. Davey's coming out the hospital, mate. We're all rooting for you. I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm hopeful you're coming home tomorrow as well. Yeah, get yourself out of hospital, mate. Good lad. Really appreciate you coming in and letting us know. Davey's coming out of hospital. What a guy. Right, Danny Welbeck. We've got Pascal Gross would be a good shout. Yeah, just come back from Dortmund as well. Gross would be a good shout. Trossard, João Pedro, both great answers. Surely both of them in. Trossard got hat-trick at Liverpool, didn't he? He didn't win the game, but he won it. Not McAllister. Maupay. Oh, Neil Maupay. 26. He's 4th. Solly March. Good shout, yeah. Trossard is 5th with 25. Okay. Dunk, yeah. Dunk. Murray's 3rd. Oh, I'm struggling then. I'm really struggling then. Minter, João Pedro, Maupay, Pedro, Gross, Mitoma, Welbeck has to be one. Dunk is 9th with 16. Okay. Right, so we've got 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 9th. Yajoa. Leonardo Yajoa. Mitoma's 6th, sorry, with 22. So we have got Mitoma now. Mitoma, 6th. Did we get Solly March and Gross? McAllister is 8th with 16. I wouldn't have said McAllister. Well, okay, weird. Rutter. The midfielder that they re-signed. Yeah, Gross. We've asked about Gross. Pedro is 7th with 19. Surely that's it then. Surely we've got it now. Surely it's Pedro, Maka, Mitoma, Dunk, Maupay, Trossard, Welbeck, Murray. Surely it's Gross and March. Did we say Gross? Not March. Has Pascal Gross been included? Have we got Gross? Pascal Gross is 2nd. Sorry, Gross is 2nd. Yes, we have got 2nd. So it's not Solly March. Right, so we need one more then. So we're doing, if you've just joined, we're doing Brighton's top Premier League goal scorers. That's the quiz. And we've currently got Welbeck 1st, Pascal Gross 2nd, Murray, Glenn Murray 3rd, Trossard, Maupay, Mitoma, Pedro, Alexis McAllister and Lewis Dunk. We are waiting on 10th. Who would be 10th? 10th top goal scorer for Brighton. Oh, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. Who would this be? Evan Ferguson, 10th with 13. I would never have said Evan Ferguson. Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, I would never have said Evan Ferguson is 10th. Interesting. And to be honest, so there you go, that's your top 10. I've got the exact same one, but for Palace. Got the exact same one for Palace. Give me the top 10 Crystal Palace goal scorers in the chat. The top 10 Crystal Palace Premier League goal scorers in the chat. Get your answers in. Mateta, yes, Mateta is second with 46. Zaha is first, yes, with 68. Yeah, Mateta, Zaha, both correct. Get your answers in. Who else have we got? Benteke, correct. Benteke's third. There you go. You got the top three straight away. Benteke. Eze's fourth. Christ, we're going through it in order here now. Eze's fourth with 34. Andy Johnson, Elise. Elise, no. Andy Johnson is 8th. Johnson is 8th. Who else have we got? Ian Wright, no. Not Ian Wright in the Premier League. Andy Johnson was right. Gary Cahill, you said. No, Gary Cahill wasn't at Palace for very long, was he? Ashley Barnes, Elise, no. Scott Dan, no. No Elise, no. Yannick Bolasie, no. Good answer, but no. Not Yannick Bolasie. You've currently got the top 4. Zaha, Mateta, Benteke, Eze. After that, you've got 3 that you've not got. 5th, 6th and 7th. You've then got Andy Johnson that you got. And you've not got 9th and 10th. Not Neil Shipley, no. Milivojevic, Chimey, is correct. Yeah, Luka Milivojevic took a lot of penalties and free kicks for Palace. He is 5th. Luka Milivojevic. Armstrong is correct, Generic Gooner. Yeah, Armstrong, Chris Armstrong, one of the greatest centre-forwards, actually, in the Premier League, never to win an England cap. Chris Armstrong, if you look at his record, he was unbelievable for Tottenham, for Palace. He had a record of about 1 in 2 across quite a few Premier League seasons. Never got a call-up. Or I think if he did get a call-up, he never played a game. So never actually got an England cap, Chris Armstrong. But yeah, Chris Armstrong is in there. I mean, to be fair, he was playing in a time when the centre-forward options for England were insane. Like, he was basically competing with Fowler, Shearer, Andy Cole, Ian Wright, Les Ferdinand. Like, it was just constant. Teddy Sheringham. Like, you were never getting an England squad with the amount of talent that they had around then. Even Letitia, Christ, Southampton fans call Letitia Le God. He never got in there, did he? Right, what are we talking about? Who have we missed? Sorry, Armstrong is correct. Not Ashley Barnes, no. Not Townsend, not Sessegnon. You have got Schlupp, yes. Jeffrey Schlupp is 10th. So you're currently waiting on 7th and 9th. 7th and 9th you've not got. Let me see who else has been guessed. Apologies if I've missed any. Let me go up and see if I've missed any in particular. Tompkins, no. Ayew, yes. Ayew is correct. Ayew is number 7. Sorry, let me keep up with it. And there you go. There's 9th. Odsonne Edouard Forsing, yes. Odsonne Edouard is 9th. So, top 10 scorers for Crystal Palace in Premier League history is 10th, Jeffrey Schlupp. 9th is Edouard. 8th is Andy Johnson. 7th, Ayew. Jordan Ayew, that is. 6th is Chris Armstrong. 5th is Luka Milivojevic. 4th, Eberechi Eze. 3rd, Christian Benteke. 2nd, Jean-Philippe Mateta. And then 1st is Zaha. So, that's your top 10 Palace goal scorers of all time. 11th, funnily enough, in that list. I would never have got this one. 11th top scorer for Palace of all time in the Premier League is James MacArthur. Not James McCarthy, James MacArthur. Remember James MacArthur? I completely forgot about him. James McCarthy, I remember from his time at Everton, and I think he played for Palace as well. But James MacArthur, 17 goals for Palace he got in 240 games. That's good enough for 11th in the all-time top scorers list. So yeah, that was Palace. For Brighton, of course, we did Welsh Wing did Brighton's quiz. Well done to Welsh Wing. Really appreciate you bringing a quiz at half-time, mate, as always. João Pedro in 7th. Sorry, hang on. Let's go back. Ferguson in 10th. Lewis Dunk in 9th. Alexis McAllister in 8th. João Pedro in 7th. Mitoma at 6th. Leandro Trossard at 5th. Morpie at 4th. Glenn Murray in 3rd. 2nd is Pascal Gross. And 1st is Danny Welbeck. So there you go. They are the top scorers for both sides. Chuck says, Uncle Fester, do you still want Man City to win? That would mean that Liverpool might not go on the next Champions League. So, are you willing to sacrifice your team for buyer's heat? What's buyer's heat? Can't say I've ever heard of buyer's heat. And when you say, do I still want Manchester City to win? I've never said I want Manchester City to win. James says, you actually have football knowledge and balanced discourse. Why do you get so hot-headed when you watch the Gooners play? It's just clipped up that way, mate. Honestly, I think if... I didn't have I've only started this channel 12 months ago. I'm a normal working guy, as working class as it gets. Quit my job to do this channel. And I've started it 12 months ago. I'm as normal as anyone else. And I didn't believe until... I maybe started this, that you can get clipped up in ways that you never know. If people want to project a particular narrative, then they can clip it up and edit it how they want to. Yesterday was a fine example of that. There was plenty of clips of me saying that I didn't think the Romero red card was a red card, even though immediately after it happened I said, yeah, that is a red card. That is a red card. As soon as I saw the replay, it was like, oh, it's definite red card. But that got clipped out. But it got broadcast to nearly 500,000 people yesterday. So now there's 500,000 people who think I didn't think that was a red card yesterday, which is no surprise then when we get people coming in, landing in the chat with their size 12s thinking, hey, this guy, he's talking absolute nonsense, he's a clickbaiter. Kinghoff says, as an Arsenal fan, I'm City's public enemy number one. Me and my mate and his dad are currently at the pub, patiently waiting for the Liverpool game. We're all Scousers today. Come on, Liverpool. Good lad. But I appreciate the comment, James. Call the Prince says, full time is going to be 0, Brighton 2, Palace. Palace to win. We'll see. James says, fair enough, mate. TikTok made you come across like you're letting Arsenal ruin your mental state. No, not quite, mate. Not quite. And we watched that, just to clarify, again, I don't know if you've... But I watch football every day. It's not just Arsenal. It isn't just Man United. We don't do hate watches on this channel. I mean, sometimes they do descend into hate watches that I don't mean them to be. I'm a Liverpool fan. I don't want United to win. I don't want Everton to win. I don't want these teams to win. So inevitably, I don't like Chelsea either. So yeah, I'll cheer for whoever they're playing against. I'll laugh if Chelsea concede a goal, or Everton, or United. I'll happily laugh. But they laugh about us, don't they? Let's be honest. If you're an Everton fan and Liverpool concede against, Brighton or whatever, the Everton fans go, yeah, get in there. Same with United. It's exactly the same. So it's what we all love football for, isn't it? Al says, Key, why are you a reasonable fan on YouTube rather than saying ridiculous shit for clicks and views? I could say more clicks and views. I could. There's an awful lot of people, by the way, and it's usually your TikTok crowd. It's amazing how many people on TikTok, by the way, because they're only short views, aren't they? They're only short videos. On TikTok, every clip's like 60 seconds or less. So it's made for people with really short attention spans. So it has to be rage bait, clickbait, da-da-da-da-da. And there are people on TikTok with like 500,000 followers, huge follower count, really popular on there. Take them to YouTube, nothing. They've got a few hundred subscribers. They've been doing it, really trying on YouTube, can't make it work. It's very common that on TikTok. Massive on TikTok, can't make it work over YouTube. I've got the opposite problem, in fairness. I don't really do anything on TikTok or Instagram because I'm deliberately trying not to be rage baity or clickbaity. I'll say what I need to say. But yeah, the fan reaction channels do very well at making me appear so. Right, we are off and underway for the second half at the Amex. Gamer Guru, I mean, a lot of the clips are accurate, but Key can take a lot of shit on the chin, need thick skin to do watch-alongs. And Chuck says, I meant biased hate. Sorry, this auto-spelling goes Arsenal down. I used to support Liverpool a lot, and I always gave them the flowers they deserve. So hearing you say something sounds unfair. Well, I'm just so we're aware, mate, it's nothing against you personally. As long as you can differentiate the two, I'm not attacking any one person at all. Gamer Guru says, Fan React TV's in the chat looking side to side right now. Paul O'Brien, hello mate, joining you for the second half, and it's finally stopped raining here in Spain. Beautiful. I hope it's still not raining when I move there later this year. Nuka Pluto, come on, give us some goals. Yeah, give us some goals, and I'd love it if this young man scores a goal. Howell, young 17-year-old lad making his debut for Brighton today in midfield. Big moment for him and his family. It'd be amazing if he got a goal for Brighton in the derby as well against Palace. Real life, I do feel bad for you, man, but I'm glad you take it in what seems to be good spirits. I genuinely think I'm doing God's work here, because there's people who have a really tough life and you know, a really difficult life at work and shit going on at home and all that stuff, and if it makes them feel a little bit better to come online to a stranger and give me some stick, and it just, I guess it's like it's cathartic, isn't it? It's cathartic. It gets a bit of pent-up energy out of him or whatever. Yeah, it's all good. If it makes him feel a little bit better for 5 minutes, it's all good. El Hasser says, Leeds fan, first time watcher, liking it. I bet you're excited after this weekend, or this weekend, yeah. Forest struggling against Leeds, and Leeds picking up the win that they needed. I mean, obviously West Ham winning, which probably made it a little bit less potent, but still. Oh, Strand Larsen playing for the penalty. Oh, he's straight back up now. Thought there was a clip on him there. King of says, Key, I'm an Arsenal fan and your hate towards Arsenal cracks me up each and every time. That's what brought me to your channel. I find it very funny. Good lad. Elaine, whatever makes you laugh, mate. Don't think the reactions are necessarily nefarious, though. No, they're not nefarious. No, they're just clipping it. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying, but they know what they're doing, aren't they? They know what they're doing. They'll clip up. And they're very successful at doing it, by the way. They'll clip it up how they want to clip it up that gets them the views they need for their channel. I don't get anything from those views, but they and not that I want any, but you know what I mean. They're doing what they do, and that's absolutely their right. Good ball through. Forzing says, Key, you better not answer this one. Do you think Romero's playing style makes it look like he doesn't want to play for Spurs anymore? No. No, I like him a lot. I like Romero. Think he's a good player. He let his side down yesterday, though, for sure. Tim says, as a Brighton fan in Thailand, I hope we stuff this lot. Oh, ball in, easy, unlucky. Straight at the keeper there. And Verbruggen gets it away. Munoz should have done a bit better with that one. Prince Rupert says, West Ham might actually escape relegation. Massive kudos to Nuno for their turnaround in form. He's done really well, hasn't he, Nuno? Matt Gilly, Key, can I just shock you? I like wine. Monkey tennis. Generic Gooner, do you think United Strand will get his haircut in midweek? No chance. I think West Ham get a result there. At the very least, a draw. Just to reset the 5 again. Oh, please. I'll be live for that one as well. I'll be live for that one. Kaz, Key, why the spite towards Arsenal games? Can you say we played well yesterday? I didn't say at any point that they didn't play well yesterday. I don't know where this comes from. I've literally said, I can only assume it's insecurity from Arsenal fans coming in and demanding this. I've literally said repeatedly, you're the best team in Europe, you played well yesterday. I don't know what more you want. You're best team in football, and you played well yesterday. I don't know what more you're looking for. Just Paper says people who don't watch Romero are judging him from that one game yesterday. That's very true. Top centre-half. Callum says, what are we saying, sorry? Haven't heard a Partridge quote for a while. Long live Watership Allen. I wouldn't eat one of your tomatoes if it came up and ate me. If it came up and said eat me, which wouldn't be a surprise given all the rubbish you pump into him. You feed beef burgers to swans, Matt Gilly. Sky Source says Liverpool full-time 0-0-2. Lee Roth UK score. It's still Brighton 0, Palace 0. It's been a pretty dull game so far, I've got to say. Leo So Cool says the guy that should cut his hair must be fuming if they win because he wouldn't have as many people watching. Oh, see, no, I think he'll have a plan for that. I'm sure there'll be a plan for that. Because at the end of the day, he lives out in Spain, you know, the United Strand. He's I don't know if his family have done well and moved him out there, or he's moved out there himself. I've no idea about him or his life. I'm assuming he's living in he's living in Spain. So, you know, fair play to him. Living the dream, really. But he's basically now got a business. He's got a job. He doesn't have to work anymore as a result of this United Strand thing. You know, he's done very well out of it, hasn't he? And fair play to him. Well done to him. And I'm sure, inevitably, once it started getting quite big and he was making a bit of cash from it, he'll have probably been thinking about, oh, what does it look like when this finishes? What happens if United actually do start, you know, winning? Are people going to be interested in it anymore? Probably not. So I need to think about something else that I can do. I don't know what it'll be, like day one of... Maybe he starts it all again. Maybe it's day one of not cutting my hair until United win a trophy. I don't know, maybe he just does it again. He might start it all over again. Maybe it's 10 games in a row, the next one. Lee Roth UK, what team do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate, yeah. Luke says, will you go to the parade when Arsenal win? What do you think? To be honest, you couldn't pay me to go to London at the minute. London is not a great place at the minute. I wouldn't go down to London at all. Ryan says, I wanted to stick with Moyes at West Ham. I didn't want him to leave. Shelley, he's doing a really good job at Everton. And real life says, Key, you need to do the same thing. You must be joking me. This is about as long as my hair gets. I've got a daughter. Christ, you don't get longer once you've got a daughter. That's it. Your hair starts falling out immediately once you get married and have a little girl. That's it. Her's gone. Beanbag says, Thomas, is today a loss? Liverpool win. Arsenal go 9 points clear. City win. But Liverpool lose top 4 footing. No, it's not a loss. No, it's only a loss if it's a loss. Yeah, it's only a loss if it's a loss. Brighton, oi, good save. Out comes Dean Henderson. Matt Gilly, I shave my head now because of the stress my daughter causes. Yeah, it just makes it easier, doesn't it? Just easier. If you're a girl dad, you know, you understand. She's still trying to put plaits in mine, God help her. I mean, there's no chance she's getting plaits, or you can put maybe a little band in it or whatever, but that's about it. She's just getting to that stage where she's painting me nails and doing makeup and all that stuff. There's going to be a time where I just forget about it and come on the live and people think I've officially come out. Mr. Soccer says, please, I make you a bet that you think 2 goals on the game. I don't think there's going to be 2 goals in this. Evan Gesand has come in for Jeremy P. Evan Gesand? I thought he went to Villa. Oh no, the other way around, isn't it? It's Villa to Palace. What are you talking about, Key? I was thinking to myself, I'm sure he was at Villa, and then I remembered he moved on the final day, didn't he? Evan Gesand, yeah, he's been poor at Villa. Gesand, very poor. Generic Gooner, actually enjoyed the stream. You're right, the clips make you look bitter. I'm glad you've stuck around, mate. I appreciate that, thank you. Matt, she's 6 next month. Not convinced she'll make it. Yeah, no, we've got a birthday party coming up as well soon. So it's bouncy castles and face painting. In fact, I'll probably get my face, but I'll have to get my face painted. She'll insist on face painting on a birthday party. Dad, come and get your face. Yeah, all right. Although I've got to leave midway through the birthday party because we're live, so I'll have to scrub my face. I'll end up looking like young Kenny off Phoenix Nights. I'll come on with a tiger. I'll literally look like Justin Morehouse out of Phoenix Nights. Leo says, come on Liverpool, Arsenal need to be 9 points ahead. Who's going to win? And Generic Gooner says, respect for taking the gamble, quitting your job to make a go of it. The clips give you infamy. Hey mate, if they help, they help. It's all good. I chose to do it because it was... yeah, at the end of the day, it was like a... what's your dream job? If you could do anything... This was the conversation my wife and I had in our kitchen 18 months ago. If you could do any job, what would it be? Let's try something for 12 months. She picked what she wanted to do. If you could make any job in the world and you could make it, that would be what you'd do for a living. What would it be? She wanted to do something in fashion, whatever. She does that now, and I wanted to watch football for a living. that was my dream job. I said, well, all right, well, what we'll do is we'll commit to throwing everything at it for 12 months. We'll see if we can make it work. If we can't make it work, we go and get jobs again. And to be fair, first 12 months, didn't make anything. Just did it for the fun of it. Just did it for the enjoyment. And then all of a sudden in December, end of November sort of thing, it just started taking off. So we'll see. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it crashes and burns and that's it. But if, at the end of the day, I've done it for 12 months and enjoyed it. If it doesn't, then I've had a great year. And I've met some lovely, lovely people. Some really, really lovely people, by the way. There's some genuinely, like, you get to see the whole world when you're doing these things. Because I get death threats. I had about four off. Well, I guess that one would be considered one. I guess say 5 death threats yesterday. It's not even a joke. I've got epilepsy. I get flashing images sent to me on the daily as well. You'd be surprised some of the stuff that people will say because you've watched their team and maybe laughed at a goal that went in against their team. It's just surprising. Typical husband, she does something in fashion or whatever. I mean, to be honest, she would say the same. What if they are? Oh, what does your husband do? Something to do with football. He loves football. Sean Patino, I couldn't give 2 fucks about Arsenal's position. I want Liverpool to finish as high as possible. Correct. Me too, mate. Harry Lewis, local fan, yeah. Well, 20 minutes from Anfield's about as local as it gets. Unless, I mean, it depends how tight you want it around that area, I guess, yeah. Depends how tight you... When can you claim to be local? I was born within an L postcode, I guess. Generic Gooner, sorry to hear that. You hating on or not or nothing shouldn't bring hate like that. To be honest, mate, it's water off a duck's back. Yeah, it's water off a duck's back. Joe, I reckon I want to start hating on Arsenal for a living. Yes. Hunter says death threats, bro, for real. Yeah. And also just some weird ones as well. I could play you a voice note I got. I don't know if I can actually access it here, but it's on this phone, that's why. It's on the TikTok phone. But I might be able to get on Instagram here. I got a voice note off some guy on Instagram. Oh my God. I don't know if I should play it. It was just a bit creepy. It wasn't even like a death threat. It was just creepy. And he doesn't know. I'm a total stranger. Here's Sarr. Should be 1-0 Palace. Must be. And it is. What a finish that is. Palace are in front. Ismaila Sarr. What a goal that is. Great goal. Glasner gives it the double fist pump. He loves it. Declan. Oh yeah, Declan Fox. We've got a hater in now. Such a waste of space you are, Key. Anyway, whatever works for you. Generic Gooner, you've really turned my opinion of you. To know the story behind a person makes a difference. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm not saying it for sympathy or anything. I imagine Goldbridge and I'm nowhere near Christ. I hate to think what Goldbridge gets, but you know, I imagine everyone gets it if you put your face online. Sad, really, isn't it? It's a sad indictment of the world we live in. DB says, why are all Liverpool fans Welsh or Irish? You think I'm Welsh? Welsh? Oh, it is. It is wrong. Sorry, I apologise. It is wrong. 61 it is, isn't it? Why is it slowed down? 61, 40. There you go. Now it's right. I don't know why it was a minute behind. Cheers for that, Ibra. Apologies. Good bit of play, that, from Palace. Really well done there. 1-0. They're in front. Chi-Chi, as an Arsenal fan, I think you're funny, mate. Don't let the hate get to you, mate. Your videos are jokes. Cheers, man. I don't think you're a sympathy farming. It's just good to know these things. I know, but then it's that, like... Again, it's that whole thing of as if I put a video about this, imagine I posted a video saying exactly what me and you have just discussed. There might be a few people who would have the same viewpoint that you have now, But then there'd be plenty that would go, oh yeah, he's just doing it for clicks and views. I've realised it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you do, you'll get people giving you shit no matter what. It don't matter whether you're sincere or insincere, whether you're... I mean, I only know one way to be. But there's absolutely no way you can avoid it. You get shit whatever you do. Whether you're trying to be nice, whether you're trying to not be nice, doesn't matter. DB, are you not Welsh? Apologies. I don't have to apologise for not being Welsh. Nothing wrong with being Welsh. Shell's one of our favourite Welsh residents. Big Everton fan, Shell. Lots of love. Gamer Guru says, nice bit of play from Palace there. Real Life says, oh man, he's from all over the shop. According to people. Yeah. Wales, Leeds, Bolton, Manchester. Can't get it right. Wigan, Widnes. Jordan, can you hear the Seagulls sing? No, no. Crystal Palace fans absolutely bouncing. Love that, Jordan. Kern says, Key, I've got a bit of advice for you today. Don't allow every person to be able to send you a message on social media unless you follow them. So you won't need to see them. And if it's on comments, you can turn them off. Do you know what, though? I've always prided myself, mate, on having quite thick skin. It's water off a duck's back to me. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with people. If they want to send me a message, they can send me a message. It might make them feel better. For a little 30 seconds, they'll get that hate off the chest, and maybe it makes the day a bit brighter. It doesn't keep me awake at night. It's the odd ones. It's the odd ones where they send you because they know I've got epilepsy, so they send me a clip that's like flashing lights, which is a crime, by the way. To be fair, if a report, because it's mad as well, a lot of people who send you this like death threats and hate, they actually have. It's not like even a fake profile a lot of the time. It's like actual people, like proper people with full on names. Brighton are in. Oh, good save from Henderson. Good save from Henderson. Yeah, it's actual people. Like, full-on real people. First name, surname, you can see in their profile sometimes where they work. They've got pictures of their wife and kids. You know, they've got a little sign at the top on their profile saying, you know, men's mental health matters and all that. And then they're sending me a message going, I'd love to see nothing more than you in a box. And you're like, fucking hell. King Hall says, when was the last time you actually went to a game at Anfield, Key? 2 and a bit years ago. It was Lask Linz. Liverpool v Lask Linz at Anfield. It was a game under Jørgen Klopp. I've still not been under Arne Slot, and I've no intention of going. I went with my dad. That's the only games I'd really go to now, is if like we had a... I don't think I would. I honestly don't think I'd go another game. I can't go another game. Joel says, Key, you could find where they work and stuff and expose them. I know, but then again, but do you want to be the guy who costs someone his job because of that? Like, there is a guy who did it, and I found out, it said, and I not even found out, it said in his thing, it said, a certain retailer, I won't say what retailer, but it said a retailer, and it said distribution depot, wherever it was, right? And then, if you Google the guy's name, it literally says on his LinkedIn, like, he was like depot manager or depot assistant to the depot manager at this retailer's distribution centre in wherever it was. And I could have, you're right, I probably could have. I could have sent it to his manager and said, do you know this guy who's got your company name and whatever, he's sending me death threats online? I could have done. It might have cost the guy his job for sending me, some stranger, in a split. Maybe he was pissed. Maybe he did it when he was pissed. I don't want to cost the guy his job. You don't want that. You don't want that. Kern says, what is epilepsy and why does flashing vids disturb you? It's a condition, basically, mate, that happens. Some people are born with it. I wasn't. You get epilepsy sometimes, like when you start going through puberty and stuff. Sometimes you get it, like I did when I was a teenager. Sometimes people get it at different times in their life. Sometimes you get it when you get a bang on the head. I don't know if you remember Rick Mayall, the comedian. Rick Mayall, he developed it after he was in a quad bike accident. And he had epilepsy in the latter stage of his life. Apparently that was a contributing factor in how he died. He's my favourite comedian as well, Rick Mayall. He passed away due to epilepsy. But there's a law in the UK that you can't send people clips of flashing lights. If you know they're epileptic and you send them that, you can get in jail. It's literally prison time, because there was a young lad, I think it's called is it Jacob's Law? I can't remember. Apologies if I've misquoted the law, but it was a young lad, a young boy who was getting bullied online, and someone sent him a clip of a flashing image, and he was epileptic, and he watched the image, and it triggered a seizure, and it killed him. And this lad was about 12, and it killed him. And for that reason, they then have, let's call it Jacob's Law, but I don't think it is. It's another law in this boy's name. What are we saying? Sorry. Irish Dave. Don't give dumb takes and you won't get hate. You're a hater and you are crying now. All right, Dave. Good to see you in the chat, mate. Ronnie says, my stepdad has epilepsy. He just goes blank sometimes. Yeah, they're called petty mals or absent seizures. Shell says, we have seizures. My mother has epilepsy since she was 9. Luke from Bottom. Yeah, that's the one. That's him from Bottom. Bleach says, my wife had it, grew out of it. Yes, some people do. Mate got hit in the head by a tree limb and became epileptic. Bloody hell. Yeah, it's not nice, but it's one of them things that you live with and you deal with, same as anyone else. Some people have different conditions through their life, and it's just one of them things you deal with. As the old adage goes, if all men had to put their troubles into a pile, most men would be glad to take their own troubles back rather than take a share of the common stock. And I firmly believe that's the case. I'm very lucky to have what I've got. Could be much worse. Bleach Demon says, my wife had it. Gamer Guru. My mum had an epileptic fit 4 hours, and the doctor said he'd never seen someone survive one that long. Did major damage to her brain. Serious condition to live with. Very much so. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that, mate, and much love to you and your family for that. Joe says, the displays pre-game on TV not affect you then? No. Again, it's gonna rather than getting into the whole thing and making it fully boring, because I understand some people are watching a watch-along rather than an epilepsy education. There are just some subs getting on here for Brighton. Welbeck has come on. Minter has come on. Howell's gone off. Belaber's gone off. Gessan came on for Pino earlier. I'm just having a look who else came on then for Brighton. I think it was De Kuyper went off. De Kuyper, Howell and Belaber have gone off. Yeah, Gomez, Welbeck and Minter have come on. There you go. So Brighton are now trying to get back in the game by throwing a few attackers on. But yes, no, I've pre-game stuff doesn't really affect me on the telly. Telly doesn't affect me. I can't go to the cinema. I can't go to football matches anymore, really, because again of the how many flashing lights there are in. They do light shows at games now, so it's just not really possible. TMU8, Zach's Law, of course it is, mate. Zach's Law, that's it. Zach's Law, part of the Online Safety Act, that's it. Absolutely right. And that's him from Drop Dead Fred. Yeah, that's him, Drop Dead Fred. Generic Gooner, can't believe I came into roast ski about the Arsenal result and I'm leaving liking the guy. Well, hey, listen, you've only been in for one half a stream, mate. Give it some time. I think I can sway you back round the other way just yet. But no, thank you. I appreciate that, mate. I'm not that bad. Bleach says can't drive if you're epileptic. Well, you can. You can actually. That I was going to say. So, what are you saying? Sorry, Daniel says would driving at night be tough? It can be. Yes, it can be. So I won't, for example, I can drive, and I can drive at night. And I could drive, if I wanted to, on the motorway at night, where there's no lights, but I choose not to. I choose not to, just because if I'm tired, and you never know, in the right circumstances, if I'm tired, and it's, there's no lights, and all you're seeing in the opposite direction is car headlights going, tsh, 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 it might trigger something, so it's just not worth the risk. So I don't drive at night, really, as a general rule, and I would never go on the motorway at night. If I have to make a short drive at a night, not a problem. But I can drive. You have to be epilepsy, or you have to be seizure free for like 2 years to drive. Towaguna says, have you ever been to Morley Key? Morley in Yorkshire, in Leeds. I've been through Morley. I think I might have even been to a meeting in Morley. I may have been to... Who was that client in Morley? I might have. I've definitely been through it. I don't know if there was might have been a company I used to work with. Gamer Guru says, heat can trigger epileptic fits too. Exactly, yeah. It was what triggered my brothers. I never know if I might have one. And Bleach Team and my wife had to go unmedicated for 3 years before she could apply for a license. Had a medical every year for 5, and now she no longer leads a medical. Wow. Hürzeler says, is Key short for Keegan or Keith or neither? Neither. Kieran. Keith. Can you imagine? I don't think there's been a Keith named in the UK for years. I'm sure there was. That Keith is a name that's dying. Generic Gooner, has the game been entertaining? I had no interest in it, as neither team affecting anything league-wise. It's been a bit rubbish for the derby, actually, to be honest. Jørgen Strand Larsen's just headed another one over. We've had a good goal from Sarr. I think on the balance of play, probably Palace do deserve it. It's been a bit of a dull game. Yeah, it's not been great to watch. Irish Dave, Romero nearly snapped Cassie's leg with the tackle. He said no red. No, I didn't, Dave. No, I didn't. It got clipped up to say that. Watch the video. I said straight after. Literally. This is the problem right here. Some guys come in to give stick because I said that it wasn't a red card. Because I said that it wasn't a red card. Literally on the first viewing. And I didn't even really see the tackle. I turned as the tackle was being made. And I was like, we want to see this back. And as soon as I saw the first replay, I said, yeah, it's a definite red. Definite red card. But he's come in because it's been clipped up and said that I said it wasn't a red. There you go. So there's a perfect example. Perfect example. Yes, you did. It's on a YouTube video. Your channel got clipped to a hater video. And I know it did, mate. I know exactly the video you're talking about. And I'm telling you, if you go and watch the actual live that I did, that's on my channel, you will see literally 3 seconds after the one that was clipped, literally as the tackle goes in, it says, I said it was a red. That's a red card. That is a bad tackle. That's a red. Straight away, literally 5 seconds after the tackle happened, I said it was a red card. It was a clear red card. So you flew in your size 12s because you've seen one 30-second reaction video. Kai Havertz scores again. Surprise Palace is winning. I thought Brighton would win easily. Well, the Premier League surprises me again. Shocking. Callum says, can you not wear goggles? You can't. No, you can't. Again, a lot of people say that. Like when I remember when I was like 17, 18, and all my mates were like, Key, we're going round town. Come round town, come on, we're going to this club. I couldn't go to a club. I was the guy in the pub. Right, I can do pubs, no problem. Can't go to a club. So nightclubs were out really. I could go to like certain clubs, but the lighting had to be very specific. So there were certain bars in town I could go to, but if they were going to like there's a place called Imperial in St. Helens, that was like strobe light city. Yeah, I can't go there. So there was all that sort of stuff to deal with. But yeah, it's the same sort of thinking as if in a morning, do you know when you've just woke up in a morning, right? And you go like that and you cover your eyes. If someone turned the bedroom light on, you'd know the light had come on, wouldn't you? Even though your eyes are shut and your hands are over your eyelids, you'd know the light had come on. It's the exact same thing. Glasses wouldn't really help. Irish Dave, 12 seconds it was. It was 2 minutes on that video. Denial ain't your strong suit. Dave, you're an idiot, mate. You're an idiot. King for the Great says, please save football today. Man City, the whole Premier League are behind you. Stop Arsenal from winning anything this season. And Gamer Guru says he actually said it was 2 red cards and a 10-match ban. It was an absolute red card. There's no doubt about it. It was a red card. Just the Sar goal here. Irish Dave, what was the name of the channel you say it's on? My channel. My channel, Premier League Dad. You can go and search it up. It's on there right now. You can go and find the exact moment where Romero makes the tackle, and you'll see that I immediately said, it's a red card. I didn't see it as it happened in real time. I didn't see it, right? And then as soon as the very first replay, I was like, yeah, it's a definite red. Definite red card. Don't know what people are talking about. Clear red card. There was people in the chat saying the opposite, actually, as well. The people in the chat was like, yeah, no, I don't think it is. I don't think it is a red. I think it's a bit soft. Clear red. Generic Gooner, are you doing a watch-along for the Liverpool game? I take it. I am, mate. Yes, I am. I'm live for the Liverpool game. And then I'm live. I'm not that I imagine you'll want to watch this one at work, but I'm live tonight for Valencia against Real Madrid as well. So 3 watch-alongs today. Brighton Palace, Liverpool against City, and then obviously Valencia Real Madrid. So Valencia, 1 point off the relegation zone in La Liga. They are struggling under ex-West Brom manager Carlos Corberán. Very talented manager, Carlos Corberán. I think he'd be one of the managers that would be linked to a move to the Premier League if he was sacked or if he left Valencia. And Real Madrid, obviously, they're flying at the top of La Liga, trying to chase down Barcelona. So Alvaro Arbeloa, he's come in. Albacete knocked him out of the Copa del Rey. They've not got that to focus on anymore. They need to prioritise La Liga. Assuming Alvaro Arbeloa keeps the job long term, but we'll be live for the Mestalla, Valencia, Real Madrid later on tonight. Bloody hell, Rangers 7-0 up. Wow. TMUA, I've seen the clip they're on about, and you can say I didn't see it, and then you say it's a red. Well, that's it. The clip they're on about, and this is why people have got a certain opinion now, because they've seen that clip and it's been edited and cut at exactly the moment I said it's a red card. Why? Because it gets the more views, doesn't it? I don't benefit from it, but they get loads more views as a result of me looking like I said that's not a red card. It looks a lot worse if you say that's not a red card and then everyone sees the replay. Irish says, you said the ref ruined another game, referring to the red. Well, the referee did ruin another game. The referee didn't give anything to Spurs before the red card. The referee was having a poor game well before the red card. Kingston boy, bro, Real Madrid don't want you watch them. You full of negativity. Well, they haven't got a choice, have they, I guess? Gamer Guru, the second penalty for Newcastle was a joke. Brentford has almost robbed a historic win. 92 years since they won at St James's Park. Brentford should have had a penalty in the first half as well, shouldn't they? Lewis Potter. 1,000,000% should have been a penalty. Ellis, trying to make out you don't want clicks or views. You watch Arsenal games just for that benefit. Well, I'm not saying I don't want views or clicks. I've never said that. What I'm saying is I don't watch games of football specifically for clicks and views. If I was, mate, I wouldn't be watching, in the international break, I wouldn't be watching, Carlisle against Scunthorpe United, which we do. I watch a game every single day. I watch games that no other channels cover. If all I was after was clickbait, I'd be doing videos on them days, and I'd be posting videos saying things that are massive clickbait, which, by the way, every other channel does. Things like posting a thumbnail of me going like this, and then next to it, you won't believe the midfielder Liverpool have just signed. And then the video says, we've brought back a young kid on loan or something like that. But that's clickbait. That's what people do. I don't do that. I watch games of football because I like watching games of football. So we've watched the Latvian league on this channel. we watched the the opening game of the Europa Conference League qualifiers. The first qualifying round of the opening, the Europa Conference League. We watched Pennybont of the Welsh Premier League against Skendia of Macedonia. You don't get that sort of thing on other channels. Warrington Lee. Have you ever played football? I haven't, mate, no. But looking at your picture, have you ever kissed a girl? You ever kissed a girl, son? Ryan says he will probably be linked with Leeds, Carlos Corberán, because he was Marcelo Bielsa's assistant at Leeds. Yes. Yeah, really good manager, though. I liked him at West Brom. I think he was a good manager then. JT just came in to check which team you're cheering on. Right now, probably Brighton, because they were a client of mine in a previous life. Yeah, I used to work with Brighton quite heavily, so I would imagine Brighton are the team that I'm cheering on here. Wanderless says, Key, you sure make me laugh. I try. Daniel says, have you ever kissed a girl? You ever kissed a girl, son? William Fudge Frost, you look like Mesut Ozil. Have you seen Mesut Ozil now? He's an absolute tank. Fair play to him. Kingston boy, bro, how you could say that's not a red? I didn't say anything about not a red. What are you on about? What are you on about? Which one are you on about, Kingston boy? Are you on about the Romero one? I didn't say it wasn't a red. I said it was a red. Here, bit of this. You got 2 of these and 1 of these. Do more of this. Twice as much of this as you do of this. Drum Dirt said this one's going to be 1-1. How's Strand Larsen been? Not great. Yeah, not great. He's missed a couple of half chances, but he's not really had too many touches. He's not got involved in the game, and he's just given away a foul there. Tommy, my first time seeing you live. Cheers, Tommy. Well, good to see you. Generic Gooner, I think your 1-0 prediction is naive, Key. Both defensive and ropey. 3-2 more likely. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, mate. A lot of people seem to be saying there's going to be goals and it's going to be end-to-end, a bit of a basketball game. You might be right. I just never see them types of games with Liverpool City. It's very rare. It's nearly always tight, cagey, first goal generally gets the win. And I think, yeah, I just fancy that again. I think Liverpool will... I'm really interested to see how we start games, because how Liverpool start games at Anfield is usually a really good indicator of what the result is going to be. If we start fast, we might end up putting 2 or 3 past them. Genuinely, we might win 2 or 3-0. If we're a bit cumbersome and a bit slow, they'd probably beat us. So it could be anything, couldn't it? Let's be honest. Brennan Johnson's coming on for Palace here now. Kingston boy, so what you fussing about? The ref ruined the game. It's not his fault. Romero wants to end careers. He's not ended careers. Casemiro got up and played the rest of the game. What are you talking about? Or are you just naturally dramatic? Because the only people who are as dramatic as that, mate, are 16-year-old girls. CH, hi buddy, how are you, lad? I'm good, mate, how are you? Lovely to see you. Paul says Valencia manager was at Huddersfield a few years ago. Done shit after he left us. Good to see a terrier in the chat, Paul. One of my best mates is a terrier. I mean a Huddersfield fan, not an actual terrier. Connor, state of that haircut. Have some shame, tit. Connor, you ever kissed a girl, son? TMUA, I'd rather you guys play out a draw. And that's imminently possible as well, isn't it? Or infinitely possible was rather what I was going for. Malta Benson, do you hate Arsenal more than I love Liverpool? Than you love Liverpool? I don't know. How much do you love Liverpool? Do I hate Arsenal more than you love Liverpool? I don't know. I guess it depends how much you love Liverpool. I've no idea. It's a difficult one to quantify. CH says, not bad, mate. Thoughts on Liverpool possibly helping my team today? I think we'll win. Yeah, I think we'll be winning. Forzing says, Key, will you be live on Valentine's Day? Yeah, I'm live every day. I was live on Christmas Day. I don't see why I won't be live on Valentine's. Actually, what game are we doing on Valentine's Day? Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what game we're doing on Valentine's Day. I'll get the old schedule up. Let's see what game we're doing on Valentine's Day. Shit, Valentine's Day is like 6 days away. Still not got anything for the missus. I'm going to have to do something special. Oh no, that's March. Oh, hey, 14th of March is a monster. 14th of March is an absolute monster. I've just had a look at the schedule, and I've done all the way up to the 14th of March. These are the games we're doing on the 14th of March. 2 o'clock, it's a Super Sunday, 14th of March, Arsenal-Everton. Hurts me to say it, but come on, Arsenal. And then Liverpool-Tottenham, 4:30. Arsenal-Everton, Liverpool-Tottenham, that's the Super Sunday. Brighton are in, oh, unlucky. And that's going to be back to the goalkeeper. Only 5 minutes or so left in this one. 14th of February, right, Valentine's Day. What are we doing, Key? Oh, okay, it's FA Cup weekend. FA Cup weekend. So we're doing Burton against West Ham, 12:15 kickoff in the FA Cup, followed by Aston Villa Newcastle at 5:45, and then straight after that Liverpool Brighton in the FA Cup. So this is 1 win in 12 now for Brighton if they lose this. Generic Guno, what if Liverpool win from a corner goal? And Forzing says that's the 15th, Key, isn't it? No, the 15th is Oxford, Sunderland, Arsenal, Wigan, Napoli, Roma. That's the 15th. Forzing, you're not doing Salford. City Salford? Nah, why would anyone do City Salford? City Salford's going to be boring. That'll be a walkover for City. I'm not watching City Salford. Yeah, not doing 15th of March is 15th of March. No, 15th of March is Brentford against Wolves. That's an 8 p.m. kickoff on a Monday night football. Julia says Rangers 8-0 against Queen's Park. Mike says, what's your Indian takeaway order? Indian takeaway order. Probably a lamb tikka salon. A salon curry is like a middle ground between a madras and a vindaloo. Madrasses can be a bit tomatoey depending on where you go. But yeah, I get a salon. A lamb tikka salon. Spelt with a C. Ceylon. It's a Sri Lankan curry, that one. What about Chinese? I don't like Chinese. Won't bother me at all if I never had a Chinese again. Not a lover of Chinese. The food. 6 minutes of stoppage time, says Julius, yeah. Sarah says, sorry, I'm still in the chat, just making lasagna. Ooh, lovely. Enjoy. Michael, are you hoping that your own team lose today so City don't drop points? No, I would never. Never trust a man who don't like Chinese. It's a good job I'm not asking you to trust me then, innit? Mike, what's your favourite cuisine? Probably Indian. Yeah, probably Indian. I'd rather a curry than pretty much anything. Like takeaway wise. Don't mind Thai. Thai's quite nice. Do you know what? Greek actually. No, Greek. Greek is unreal. Yeah. Go to a nice Greek restaurant. Or Turkish. Turkish is okay. But anything around that area. Lots of meat. Lots of lamb. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Got 4 minutes left here. Forzing, it's horrible once Maximan and his kids got in Mexico. And Mike says Indian for me, then Turkish. Not far off. Yeah, Indian, Turkish, Greek. I mean, I'm easy. I mean, it's quite boring, to be honest. Just meat and rice. That's it. Like, meat and rice. Maybe a bit of sauce, but generally speaking, meat, rice, veg. That's it. I'm good. I am good. Like, my favourite English dish is just, like, scouse. Just stew. Just, like, bung a load of meat and vegetables in a pan. Water. Either chicken stock or beef stock, whatever it is that you're having. Let it boil up. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Reese says, never heard of Salon, pal. No existence in takeaways around here. Is it a loo roll in the fridge job? Yeah, look, I mean, it depends where you go. Depends where you go. Like, Madras will blow your head off in a lot of places, won't it? If you order a Madras, there's somehow curry houses that make it, and it's like, you definitely loo roll in the fridge type of job. But other places, it's dead tomatoey. It's almost like you're having tomato soup in a lot of places. Munoz pulls it back. Strand Larsen. Oh, good save. Rebound. Unlucky. Cleared away by Brighton. They've still got a chance here, but they're going to need to do something very, very quickly. Greek foods are smelly. Jay, let's be honest. We all know you would eat anything. Jay, them roids have gone to your head, old man. Daniel says stew is originally Irish. No. Well, there's Irish stew. There's Irish stew. There's all different types of stew. Scouse came from lobbies or lobscouse, which is, I think, Scandinavian, and it came over on the ships when Liverpool was a port city, and all the ships used to come over into the docks. Paul says Romero was definitely a red card, and also Delo should have got sent off the other week for a high tackle. I agree. Yep, agreed on both of them. Absolutely agree. Forzing, isn't tikka masala an English dish? It is, yeah. Tikka masala was invented in Bradford in the UK. Malik G, hello mate, how are you? I'm good, how are you? Wanderless, good lad. Gamer Guru says, I do love how Scousers saw a beef stew and claimed it as their own dish. Well, there's a slight difference with Scouse. Slight difference. I don't know what that difference is, but I know that there is a noticeable culinary difference with it. Because I've asked that question before. What's the difference between that and just like a normal stew? "60 seconds left here. Dunk, not a happy boy, screaming at the referee here, but I think that's going to be it. Skeeter Jones, as a Scouser, do you go Everton or Liverpool? I don't go either, no. Don't go either. Would not go either. Paul says, Caldo, if you're moving to Spain and paella. Yeah, I was going to say, actually, Spanish cuisine would be my next favourite. But I can't. We're looking at like Valencia region, mate, and Valencia's very, very fish paella, isn't it? I'm not a lover of fish paella. Has to be chicken. Can't be doing fish paella. Hit specific, by the sounds of it, your vibe is Mediterranean food. But anything really, food-wise. Look at me. I like me chuck. Anything. Do you like Italian cuisine? Again, so-so. So-so. It's all right. Can live without it. Right, full time here, 1-0. It was a pretty poor game, if I'm dead honest. We've spent most of the game talking about anything other than the actual football because it's been pretty dull and boring. But Palace have finally got their win that they have not had in 9 games. First win in 10, this is the 10th game. First win in 10 games. Massive result for them. Ismail Assar, who maybe now is Palace's best player. Unbelievable scoreline for Palace fans. They'll be absolutely made up to get their first win in such a long time back at their rivals. So, let's see now the lineups for Liverpool and City. Clem H. Fandango. Love that game, by the way. Love Clem Fandango. Fantastic. Right, Liverpool lineups and City lineups, because we've still not talked about them yet. Liverpool and City lineups are as follows. Alisson in goal. No. Oh, as if we've done that. We've put Szoboszlai at right back. That's an absolute waste of time. Szoboszlai, Konate, Van Dijk and Kerkez at the back. Gravenberch, McAllister in midfield. Salah, Wirtz, Gakpo, Ekitike. Like the attack. Happy with the attack. Szoboszlai at right back. A lot is on him there. For City, it's Donnarumma, Aït-Nouri, Gueye, Kusanov and Nunes, O'Reilly, Rodri and Silva midfield, and then Semenyo, Marmoush and Haaland front three. That is going to be a fantastic game. That is going to be a phenomenal game. However you want to dress it up, it's going to be a great game. And I'm going to be live for it in literally 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, I will be live for Manchester City at Anfield. I am just about to start the watch-along for that one. If you want to join me, head over to YouTube. If you're watching on TikTok, I will be starting a TikTok live, so just make sure you followed. Make sure you want to, if you want to join along and watch. Maybe you're a City fan, maybe you're a rival, whatever. You want to see me get hated upon, and you want to see if Liverpool lose, I'll be upset. If that's your thing, I'll be live for Liverpool anyway. So yeah, I'll be live for that one in 10 minutes. Let me just sort out the where is it? Customization. There we go. Redirect. Liverpool v Man City. Right, perfect. Okay, we're good. We're sorted. See you in 10 then, Key. You will, yes. Right. Yeah, I'll be live in 10 minutes for Liverpool against City. If you want to join me, make sure you've hit that like button. Make sure you've subscribed. If you enjoyed the watch along, really appreciate it. Lots of love. Thank you, everyone in the chat. And I will see you all in 10. Take it easy. See you soon.